Hello there, my name is Alaydriem and welcome back to Bedrock. And today in this episode, I've been trying to find out if there's a way that we can make this raid farm work without being killed by Vexes. And thus far, the consensus has been largely no. No, I have not found a way. Ooh, we're really close right now. Oh, this is really intimate. Hold on, let me get back up here real quick. Yeah, so I haven't found a way exactly to stay alive, and I've also discovered that this raid farm is super duper dependent upon the pillager outpost that you find. I've set this up on another pillager outpost just to test it, and some pillager outposts, no matter how far away you are, you cannot get both the bad omen to rejuvenate fast enough and also have the raid start at the same time, which is really a shame because that means that this only works in some places. And that's mostly really frustrating because I really want to love this farm. I really want to like it. It seems simple enough, but I just cannot get it to work reliably. So what I'll probably end up doing is taking this design to the drawing board and coming up with my own design that hopefully is maybe a little bit more reliable and hopefully doesn't get you killed by Vexes every time you use it. But enough about this raid farm. We talked an entire episode about this last time. Let's talk about what we're doing in the future. Would you like to see what I've been working on? Yeah, this is as far as I got on this build so far. It was a really long time to get this far and get kind of all the details I want. And no, it isn't because I ran out of time or because I've become lazy. I've actually run into a snag. And that snag is that I need mangrove wood, because mangrove wood is what the color of this roof is going to be. And before I do any other work on this, I really need to get the roof lines in place so that I can kind of visualize how it's all going to come together. And in case you're wondering, yes, this is the entire reason that I built and designed a mangrove tree farm, just so I could build the roof of this thing inside of survival Minecraft. But I don't have that built yet in this world, and I don't have it built for one really good reason. I don't have enough redstone. I know we went on this whole thing about how I had all the redstone I needed. I don't. I need actually a lot more redstone, and I don't think Hero of the Village is going to cut it. I need about 50 more clerics. So let me go ahead and show you kind of what we have going on so far right here. Hopefully you can get a pretty good idea of this. I'm trying to keep this in a similar style to the other buildings, but make it a little bit different. And I was going to have kind of a swooping roof here. If you see my cursor, then that roof is going to come down. So you're going to have two triangles there on the left and the right. And then at the top coming down, that's going to slope down towards you with that beautiful mangrove wood. That's really kind of the aesthetic and vibe I'm looking for. I really think that adding more color to your builds, especially on the roof, can really do a lot, especially now that I've seen what the nether stems, the green roof that we have elsewhere looks like on that other build. I really want to start branching out a little bit, but I need to feel comfortable with building what we have. Sorry, just gotta get these vines out of the way. So trying something a little bit different down here in the bottom. We're using these redstone lamps. Yeah, redstone lamps. And they're giving off a slightly different vibe, but I'm trying to slowly incorporate just different elements into this build without radically going away from what I've already built and kind of the overall theme that we have going on here. So just give you a quick little tour around. Have some, I'm not sure if this is going to be a balcony over here. Let me see if I can get you a better view from over this side. I'm not sure if that's going to be a balcony right there or if I'm just going to have another tower in the back. Haven't quite decided yet, but we've got that going on there. In the back, we've got these lights. It looks really good at night so far. Got to nail the landing there. This looks really good at night so far, and it really gives this build a very different feel than I think what we have the other builds on. Now, I am not a type of builder just to suddenly branch out in a totally different style. And this build actually started off at half the size, and I ran into the problem where just I could not get the detail that I wanted out of it. I couldn't get the detail, I couldn't get the depth, and I was really struggling with that. So now it's 3 times as big, or twice as big. And yeah, lots of work going on here. As you can see down here, look at my amazing redstone job. I know. The lovely redstone right there. A couple torches and some redstone lamps. We got a whole basement down there that we can play around with. Coming up here, we have kind of the upper floor done. Have a nice little interesting balcony over here. I think I have had about my full of spruce though. We're gonna have to probably start experimenting with other blocks. But first story inside here, I actually have all of this done. Really nice kind of open and airy feeling. Kind of go through here. Come around here. We have, I guess this is like a castle turret or something. I'm not entirely sure what I was doing over here. I just wanted this to kind of slope up to the side of the house and really give this just some additional texture and depth. But coming around on the back here, we've got most of all this done here. I'm pretty pleased with it. Tried something different with the walls with those trapdoors all brought up. Nice little fireplace. And then right up here, this is basically the attic. That roof line is going to come from that center beam right there, and it's going to go straight down to the left and the right, and then that's how we're going to get our attic filled in here. And like I said, we're at the attic. I need the mangrove wood in order to kind of finish these roof lines out and see where everything kind of ends up. But we've made a lot of progress on this so far. Just need to get the supplies we need to get this roof in place. But like I've said, I've run into a tad bit of a snag in that I don't have mangrove wood, and I don't have a mangrove farm built on the server, and I don't have the supplies to build a mangrove farm at the moment. I need a lot more pistons, about 600 or so, and a lot more pieces of redstone dust, which my 9 clerics are not going to be able to provide me with in any sufficient amount of time. And besides, I think I also miss mining a little bit. So we're going to take a little pivot today, and instead of continuing to build this or build a mangrove farm, we're just going to go mining for redstone dust. Now, I haven't quite decided if this is where I want to build this farm. This seems like the good spot, but I just don't know if... Excuse me. Really? I'm narrating. Really? You have to do that? Don't look at me like that. No, don't look at me like that. I don't need that attitude from you right now. You should not even be in this dimension. Okay? All right. Hold on a sec. So as I was saying, this is where I think I want to build our mangrove tree farm. And you can find a tutorial for that over in my farms playlist over on my YouTube channel. Go check it out because it's a really cool farm and it does some really cool things. Lots of flying machines involved. But one thing I want to talk about before we get into that is something that I've been struggling with just a little bit, and that's pacing. I feel like every video for the last several videos, I've needed to one-up what I've done in the previous video, and cramming all of that into a single video is really, really challenging to do that consistently and to make sure that it is of good, high-quality content every single time. And I'm also trying to introduce some other story elements onto this Let's Play series as well. I know I go back and forth between we're breaking the fourth wall and then we're in first-person narration. Sorry, this channel has a little bit of everything on this playlist. But we're moving forward for this Let's Play series, we're going to slow down. We're going to pace things out a little bit. We're still going to cover the stories. We're still going to build the farms and build all the great buildings that we've been building. But we're just going to scale back just a little bit. Not on the ambition, but just on the speed and the pacing so that I can make sure that we have great, high-quality things continue to come out. At least high quality in this perspective of, at my current skill level, I can't improve on it drastically. So today, we are just going to gather the resources that we need in order to make our mangrove tree farm, which we're going to need to do anyway. And hopefully, next episode, we'll have everything we need to build that farm and rock and roll with that. But at this point, you're probably thinking, great, okay, we're going to change the pacing on these videos a little bit. That's fine. But I really want to know about Cassie. What's going on with her?
Did you know that netherite armor resonates at certain frequencies?
Yeah, so we discovered that with the help of the radio tower, netherite armor can act both as a speaker, so I can hear anything that she says.
And I can hear you. We can finally talk to each other all the time now.
Yeah, so that was a surprising discovery. Cassie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Well, great. Good. Well, you know, I still have some questions from the last time that we talked. Maybe you could fill me in on what exactly this imminent threat is?
I'd be happy to answer them. Somewhere on your world is an artifact of ancient power. Normally, I could find this from orbit, but when I arrived to this world, something interfered with my systems, forcing me to eject this pod and crash land.
So this artifact you're talking about, it's the threat that you were mentioning? It's what's gonna doom our entire world?
Well, not exactly.
Well, what is it then?
I'm not entirely sure. It's different every time. All I know is that he's looking for it.
Oh, that's not ominous at all. Who exactly is he?
A very powerful interdimensional being. You're lucky I got here first. Most of the time I find one of these artifacts, he's already beaten me to it.
So what exactly will happen if he recovers this artifact you're talking about before we do?
You should be more worried about how he goes about it. I've seen entire worlds ripped apart block by block and torn into pieces in his search for these items. It would really be best if we find it first.
Okay, so do you know where this thing is? I'd very much like for my world not to be torn apart, especially after I've been building all these things here for over the past year.
Not exactly.
Cassie, what does that mean, not exactly?
Well, you see, normally I could locate this from orbit, but something is giving off strange interference that is messing with a lot of my systems, even before I landed. I'm using the radio tower as an alternative means of scanning for the item.
Okay then, well, it sounds like you have your work cut out for you. I'm not exactly sure what you need me for. I guess, what's the plan? Are we gonna toss this thing in the nether when we find it? Throw it in the void in the end?
No, that's a terrible idea. This dimension is linked to those. He'll rip all three of them apart just to recover it. It's best we get it out of this world entirely.
And how exactly do you plan to do that? I don't exactly have a spaceship just lying around that we can launch things into space with.
Don't worry, I have a solution for that.
Well, okay then. It sounds like you have this handled, Cassie, and really it just sounds like I'm along for the ride. So, just let me know when you need me, I guess, and we'll figure out what we need to do from there, okay?
Lovely. I adore your enthusiasm. So many more worlds would be better off if I had companions with your willingness to help.
Yeah, you know, that still doesn't make me feel better, actually. All right, well, I guess we're going to just continue mining for resources down here. We've actually gathered quite a bit of redstone with Silk Touch Pick. Well, when we fortune them over in the overworld, we will have a ton more stuff. But let's talk about maybe something a little bit different. Let's talk about 1.20. I'm really, really excited for 1.20, and I don't know when the release date is. I thought it was going to be in January, and here we are in March, and it still hasn't come out yet. And I was really hoping that it would be out, but they keep adding more features to it. And I really hope that with Mojang being more quiet about the features that they're adding and kind of not announcing them until they're more ready, that they don't get into I guess, get it done-oritis, where they don't release anything until they finally have something done that they're happy with. Because announcing stuff and having it in preview is nice, but I'd really like to have those features in the game. And that's fine that we want to keep cramming new features and new biomes into the game. I absolutely love that. But I would very much like to have those rather than, keep waiting for several months. What am I excited about? Cherry blossom biomes. I absolutely love the cherry trees. I don't care for the pink wood itself, like when you strip the sides off and make stripped logs or anything like that. We have enough pink in the game already, but I really like the biome. I really like the leaves. I think that for a lot of builds, that's going to add a lot of character, a ton of energy. And then we have a new particle block with the cherry blossom, I guess, spores. I'm not exactly sure what to call them, but those are a new particle block. And I've been raving on this for a very long time. Particle blocks make this world seem so much more alive. You're just mining like we are right now. It's just, block after block. Not super duper exciting, but you add in those particle blocks to your build and suddenly you have particles flying around, and it's just such a little thing that makes such a huge difference in how you perceive the world and how people perceive your builds. But also the new armor trims. I don't know how to feel about the armor trims, especially now that netherite is gonna, maybe spoiler alert, netherite's gonna hurt your wallet a little bit more, since you have to craft them using armor trims and a whole bunch of other things with that. Yeah, well, I won't spoil too much, but armor trims, they are a fantastic way to make the game feel different. If you're playing on a server, it's going to be a fantastic way to differentiate people. You can have unique things. They'll tell things about your story. I think it's a really great addition to add in the game, especially kind of when you're starting off with a new server and you're playing with new people. I think that's going to be a fantastic way to differentiate your achievements, and kind of going in with the theme of this update, which is, stories and lore and everything related to that. I really think that that is a great addition to really help achieve those goals. And I'm really excited to find them, although it's going to be a bit tedious to find them and it's going to be a bit expensive. So make sure you maybe gather up some supplies now. Go around, check out the wiki, search around for, where the armor trims are going to be located at, and make sure you have the supplies you need, because I guarantee you those resources, every time there's a new feature added in the game, it is going to be harder and harder to get those things. So if you have the opportunity now, get the resources and supplies you need, because every update it gets harder and harder. But what else is in 1.20? Chiseled bookshelves for sure. I have a redstone tutorial on how to make a chiseled bookshelf hidden door that I think is really neat spin on kind of an old and classic idea, but they just won't release the update yet. So I kind of have that video sitting on the back burner, but I'm really excited about chiseled bookshelves because it's going to make your bookshelf walls suddenly have a whole lot more character, a whole lot more energy, since your books are going to be changing colors kind of with that glowing particle effect. Again, anything that adds more energy into a build, I think is A++, 5 stars. Absolutely love it. Hanging signs. Oh, hanging signs. You're going to love them for nether highways, where you have your nether hubs, being able to hang them instead of have, things just sitting around on the side that people have to stop and look at, especially now since signs will allegedly be able to be edited from either side of the sign and also be edited in place without tearing that sign down. High quality of life features being added. Also super duper excited about that. And then, pottery shards. I'm not really super thrilled about anything else. I think that they're great additions, but pottery shelves, fine. New. Maybe if we can throw them at chickens and they have a special hidden effect. Maybe if we do that, if you get that reference, let me know. And then what else is there in the update? I think that's just about everything of significance. Obviously, a couple new mobs coming over from Minecraft Legends, like the camel, and then the new mob, the sniffer. It's a real shame that the golems didn't win, but you know, it's okay. We have a lot of golems and we can always add things in via mob packs instead. So overall, I think that the update is shaping out to be a pretty fantastic update. I just want them to release it because I really hope that they just don't hold the update kind of in update limbo forever. That's a really sharp and drastic turn from, I guess, where we were previously, where they, you know, announced all the features and then we just never got the update. Because no, I guess it really isn't all that drastic of a turn. We're just different side of the same coin, really, aren't we? Yeah, anyway, I really hope that Mojang can release the update soonish, maybe within the next month or so. I really think that the next month or so would be a good time to do it. I hope they don't wait till the middle of June, though maybe they do, you know, when school is out for a lot of kids in the summer or winter breaks, depending upon the side of the world that you're in. We'll see, but I hope it comes out soon. Oh, and will you look at this? I think we might have stumbled across another ancient city.
Wow, what's an ancient city?
Yeah, Cassie, have you been listening in on this entire time while I've been rambling? You gotta keep your voice down in here. There's a warden down here. He's gonna kill me if you make too much noise.
Sorry, what's an ancient city?
It's a really ancient structure built by people who used to live on this world long before I ever arrived. You know, if I think about it, they're probably the same people who made the structures in the end, then also the structures in the Nether. But anyway, nothing spawns down here. It's just a desolated, abandoned city with nothing in it except for some skulk and obviously, of course, the warden, which that's why we need to be quiet if he hears us while we're down here. He's very, very scary and not easy to get away from. Wait, aren't you searching for whatever this artifact is right now?
I'm multitasking. While you're down there, keep a lookout for anything out of place. Who knows? We could get lucky, and you might just stumble upon the thing we're looking for.
Is there anything particular I need to be keeping an eye out for? I don't exactly know what a thing is.
You'll know it when you see it.
Okay, then. I guess we're going to be keeping an eye out for something. Not a lot of help there, Cassie. But, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look around this ancient city. I know these have been out for a while, but I've only actually been exploring them kind of more recently. Maybe there's something else interesting down here that I might have missed during my previous encounter. We got to make sure, though, that we aren't making a ton of noise, because if we get spooked by the warden, I don't have a bed placed, and it's going to be really difficult to get through here. Quick scan around to see if there's any, I guess whatever those things are. Shriek skulkers. I can never remember their name. They're not the censors, they're the shriekers. Got some saddles. Maybe some saddles are useful. Oh, did I tell you? Oh, you won't believe this. Remember the horses that I thought got deleted? Oh, there's a poor squid there. I found our horses. They had broken off their leads, which I'm going to still blame on the update. But I found both of our speed horses that we had. I couldn't find the baby one, but both of the adult ones I found, and I brought them back to the base. So we now have our speed horses back at the base, which is super duper exciting. What block is this? Is this... Oh, this is polished basalt. I don't know why. I thought that was... What, a lodestone. I thought that was a lodestone for a second, which didn't seem right to me. Polished basalt. Well, this could be a good place to mine for polished basalt. Gosh, I'd still love to build a base down here. If you take out all the skulk sensors and all the shriekers, this is like a mushroom island, except it's already pre-decorated for you. Man, I'd really love to build a base down here. All right, we're gonna hop over here to where the altar is. I swear that thing right there, that cross, looks like it's supposed to be a wither. Yep, golden apple. I'll take a golden apple. I think I already had one, but I'll take another golden apple. Fine by me. But yeah, just look how big this place is. And in 1.20, aren't they adding a new large structure? I thought I read somewhere that there's a new large structure being added to 1.22. Maybe I'm misremembering something, but I thought if there was another structure like this being added to 1.20 that was just large like this and had all this character, I think that would be a super great addition to 1.20. I hope Mojang adds more of these larger structures into the game, because it's just empty, which isn't super exciting. But imagine if this was like a village. If this was a living, thriving village of some kind. Oh, can I nail the landing? Oh, we're going to get it one of these times. But imagine if there was a village structure that Mojang added in the game that was as big as this. Yes, Swift Sneak Book. Sorry, getting distracted. I just think that would be fantastic if we had more of these large structures, because there's so much character in this, and they can be so unique with the randomizations and the generation that comes in with it. Yeah, I'd really like to see that added too. I think I've got a full inventory here about now. I think we're just gonna gather the rest of these items right here. And I think it's time for us to maybe start making our way back. I don't super want to lose all of the redstone that we've found. Let's see, does this go anywhere? Oh, yeah, that just goes to lava and a bunch of shriekers. Yeah, we're not gonna go that way. Yep, I think we are actually fairly good on all of the items that we need. So hopefully we have enough to build all of the structures that we're looking to build our mangrove tree farm, and then also the rest of that very large mansion that I'm working on. So with all that said and done, I think we have reached the end of our episode here today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I super duper appreciate you guys watching this video until the very end and just being along this journey with me. Love exploring these places, love sharing some of my thoughts with you, and then always love hearing your feedback. But that's going to be all the time that we have for this episode. Again, thank you so much for watching, and remember, you are always welcome on Bedrock. I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Wow, I thought that would be easier to say. Hey, do you think next time I can do the outro?